Well, good afternoon. This is Jess T on countryradio.uk, and this afternoon I have some really, really special guests with me. I have Holloway Road, that's Jack and Rob. How you guys doing?
Hey, yeah, we're all good, cheers. You right?
All good. It's just a casual afternoon chat, while autumn is starting to set in, isn't it? I mean, we're British, we've got to talk about the weather a little bit, but the weather, our little warm stream has gone. And,
I've got my hot drink.
Oh, there you go, in your West Ham mug.
Oh, absolutely.
I know I didn't say anything. I take it we all support someone different. We don't have to do that. That'll be a whole different interview.
Yeah. As long as it's not Spurs, we're all good.
Oh. As I always say, judge me if thou will, but born and bred, so you've got to support where you were from, right?
That's absolutely. I got to respect that. So you're
exactly.
Good.
If I was up road, it'd be a bit different. But well, no, it wouldn't actually. It wouldn't. So yeah, but lovely to meet you guys on this rather odd afternoon. But yeah, lovely to finally see you. How have things been? We'll talk all about you guys, and for any of my listeners that don't know of you, and always say certainly should. It would be lovely to find out more about you. But how you been?
Yeah, all right, bored.
Not too bad. It's kind of doing what you can, It's been a weird one.
It has.
It's we've done so far now, so I don't see any reason why we can't carry on.
That's a nice positive thought. I like that. At the end of the day, we have been through the worst of it, and we don't know what's coming next. But either way, let's power through best we can.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Absolutely.
How's the music been for you guys? I know you've released a couple of singles this year already, which we'll talk about. But how has it been for you musically?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the thing with the live shows isn't exactly happening at the moment, but we've been keeping busy. I mean, a couple of the tracks so far that we've released this year were written whilst we were in lockdown. So we had the Zoom up and the laptops open, and was writing remotely, and we were getting good results. So, and now we're back working together in the studio again. So yeah, we're cracking on.
I think that's what it's had to be, cracking on, finding a new normal and doing the best with what we have. And like you say, Zoom and all these different resources, in actual fact, have been invaluable, haven't they? Have you managed to write anything new, record anything new?
Well, all of the last couple of singles and the next EP that's out in a couple of weeks was all recorded while we were in separate rooms for the entire process. So we have managed to, and it was different, but we got there. And we had to kind of overcome like new challenges and kind of discover how to work out how to do different things that we were so used to doing together while we were in the same room. That kind of stuff just came so naturally. It kind of it kind of felt weird at first because we weren't in the same room, and you had to start thinking about things that you just didn't have to think about.
Well, certainly, and I imagine the banter was effective. It's all about the banter, really, isn't it? And then, you have to kind of curb it and get on with some work when you're doing it this way, because otherwise you just have a chat.
Yeah.
We kind of did find ourselves doing that, to be honest, because we were like screen sharing. And we were just like finding shit on the internet that, like videos and stuff like on YouTube, and we just got distracted for ages.
Yes.
So yeah, it required a different kind of way of thinking.
Oh God, yeah. We've all used this as a way to interact with our family and friends. So it's actually been, a virtual pub session. So we've had to, get into professional mode on occasion, of course.
Did you do many quizzes?
Oh, do you know, I didn't do hardly any. I'm really surprised. I know people were like regular and it become a thing.
Yeah. Rob's like the quiz master.
Oh.
Well, I had to do one. It's like throughout this, I hadn't spoken in like a regimented fashion to my family so much in their entire life. And I was only lucky. I had to do like one a week, but my sister had like 4 a night because she has all these, because of what she does for work and that, there's like so many different people she works with. they were all like, yeah, let's do a quiz. And she found herself like having to like schedule everyone in and that. So I feel more sorry for her, to be honest.
Well, it sounds like a busy social life, actually. Really interesting.
Yeah, well, she likes to think she's got a load of powers, but
that's interesting. So educated somewhat. And you know what? In actual fact, let's talk about your upbringing and who you guys are and where you're from and what your influences were and how you found your way into country, because I find that so fascinating. Everyone has a story.
Well, I mean, me and Rob, we went to school together, so we are born and bred Essex lads. We met at school. We grew up playing in punk bands together, like rock music, dance music. We kind of done it all. And I think as we got a little older, and matured as writers and things like that, we wanted to start, writing proper music, real songs. And the country was a good path into that. I mean, obviously we both liked country anyway. So it was it seemed very fitting thing to sort of get into.
So who were your influences? Because now's your time.
Country influences or all influences?
I mean, I think it's amazing because what I found across the board recently is that especially the younger emerging artists and already the established artists, they tend to have a rock background, which I find really interesting. And I think, why rock? And then they still have that kind of alternative rock country vibe that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's maybe an element of pop, but there's still that rock influence. And it's really interesting. I wonder where that comes from.
I think, I mean, when we first sort of went into the country genre, it was when sort of Florida Georgia Line's first album hit. And that was like a big thing for us because that was like, oh, hold on, you can do this sort of thing. So that was a massive influence for us as a whole. That album just kind of blew our minds and led us off into a path that, of music that we never thought that we could make and started making.
So are you the Dolly Parton lovers and the Johnny Cash lovers, or is there some other form of influence? I'm always fascinated to know because country has such a stigma, so it's just interesting. What's yours?
We're the George Strait lovers.
Ah, yes.
Hell yeah. Yes.
We're quite a cowboy.
I mean, you can ride in your show on a horse.
It's badass.
Cool.
Sing you a worded song that will completely resonate with you and tell you the story, which is what we love about this genre too, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you start? So what happened? When did you suddenly go, oh, let's get in a country band. Let's give it a shot.
Well, I mean, Rob had a trip to the States, didn't you?
Yeah. I did it. Yeah, I did it. I was out on a family holiday, just in Florida, and we'd rented a Mustang for a week while we were out there. Obviously, like when you're driving, when you're in Florida, it's a tough challenge to try and find a radio station that isn't country. And I was kind of forced to listen to it just because there was nothing else on at the time, and I got really into it. And then I came home from the holiday and said to Jack that I'd sort of like discovered this, this country, but it's not really like, it doesn't really feel like it's, like the stereotypical country. And then we kind of just started. It kind of started as a bit of a not a joke, but
like a laugh.
A bit of a laugh.
It's a passing idea to start with, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an idea.
And then we kind of we did that for a few months and didn't really tell anybody. And then we kind of went for it, really. Just kind of just went for it, and then told loads of people who thought we were idiots. And definitely laughed at us. And now here we are.
Now we're laughing.
You know what? You took the words. Absolutely spot on. So for boys that come from Essex, whereabouts in Essex, by the way?
Southend.
Oh, do you know what? The best prawns in the land. It's my favorite place. Love the Curzels. Love a bit of a spiel. Gotta say.
Love it.
Closed down now. It's not there anymore.
Don't upset me. I know. So many changes.
It's tragic.
It is, and there's a lot of things. that have shut down, obviously music venues. We know this has been quite detrimental, but I mean, you guys have been, I mean, prior to this, on a good note, you guys have done some pretty interesting touring. And, you know, what was that journey like? I know that you performed with several artists as well, such as Lauren Elena, who is super cool.
Yeah, I mean, we love being on the road. It's, you know, it's one of the things that keeps us going and keeps us loving what we do. So yeah, I mean, at the minute it sucks. You know, I mean, we had plans to go back to the States this year, and lots of things to do this year. And so yeah, I mean, it's a massive part of what we do, and I think as far as live music goes, I think that's where we shine a lot as well, and we have fun with the, you know, we can feed off the audience and they feed off of us, and you know, we get a kick out of that, and that's the reason why we do it. That's the reason why we started playing music, you know, to play together and to have fun and experience it with everyone. Absolutely. So yeah, it's,
your music is really, really upbeat. You know, several of your tracks most of your tracks are really feel good and bring a really happy vibe, which is really, really lovely, which again, as you say, is massively conveyed through live gigs. But sort of, how did you find your journey into how recognizable you are now, guys? Because you are recognizable now. So how did that come about? What was that pinnacle moment? Where was that?
Oh god. I think
modest.
I thought it was one of the CTCs. And then I honestly can't remember which year it was. It was about two ago, I think, 3 ago. And we were doing three shows over all 3 days. And we actually found that the Daily Mail had watched it. Watched one of the shows, and they'd said something about it. And I think it was kind of at that point, because we thought, you know, we're doing 3 shows, maybe if we push one of them, we'll get a really good one, and then, you know, the other 2 can be, you know, ones that we kind of try and hopefully win over some new followers for people like passing by and that kind of thing. But all 3 were absolutely mobbed, and I think it was then I kind of thought, well, we didn't really shout about these other 2 shows, because we wanted to put the focus on the bigger one of all the 3. So just thinking, because we wouldn't be able to, you know, attract enough people to get a good amount of people at every show. So yeah, it was kind of after that, I think, that I kind of thought, oh, hang on a minute.
Something's happening there.
What I like about that, I mean, look, you have performed at some pretty hot venues. I mean, you've done the CMA Fest, you have done C2C, you've done the Long Road, you've done Nash Meets London, which is really, really popular now. You know, you've sort of toured around with pretty, you know, big artists as well. So, you know, you are getting something that artists, you know, there's a long ladder, you know that, especially for UK artists, there is a long ladder and it's quite an uphill climb. So you've done that. You've been around for what, 5-6 years now?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, so you've done the hard graft essentially, and, you know, reaping the rewards, which even through a lockdown, it doesn't mean anything really, because, you know, we're still there, we're still all present, and the scene is still growing, and it still needs artists, you know, more than anything. So how did your first releases go? I mean, obviously I've played Even If about 1 million times, and that's such a popular song, and it really seems to resonate. That's definitely what I think, you know. How did you find your journey through releasing your singles in your EP?
Do you mean the latest singles and EP?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a lot different for us, obviously, because as far as the new singles go, they were written and recorded in lockdown and all of that. So it's been a completely different experience to where it would be. You know, we've managed to film some videos at home for it and things like that. So yeah, it's been very different, but I think it's still good for us to know that we can still put music out even in a time like this, and you know, and people like yourself are still listening to it and digging it. So
absolutely. So what do you have to come? Or, you know, has it given you some more? It gives you more time to be creative, I suppose. So you've obviously released 2 singles this year. That's right, isn't it?
3.
Three. I've omitted one. Oh.
3.
And then we've got another one coming at some point.
On the 2nd of October, when the rest with the whole EP is made available.
Yes,
absolutely. So that's like in a week or two. So we've got something really current coming
yeah,
out.
we have. Yeah, it's in like a week or two.
Sorry, I didn't know if I was allowed to say, but Rob just cracked on, so we're all good.
Well, it's all been advertised. It's on the internet.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I can't.
Is there?
I want you guys to do that too. There's the plug for the new EP. So a couple of weeks away, and are you excited? What flavour have you brought to it?
Do you want to take this one, Rob?
Yeah, I mean we've there's only 3 songs on it because we did the whole thing in lockdown. So 2 of them are out already, and then it's really only 1 more, and then they're all available together on the same record. But it's kind of that we've not gone away type vibe. We're still here. This is what we're doing. We haven't changed. It's high, it's high energy. It's upbeat. It's fun. And there's a little slower jam in there as well to put the cherry on the cake. So it's we're doing everything that we can to just to keep going with it and put out music that we like to put out, really. So
absolutely. Have you found it's a good time to collab with other artists or other producers or interact or network? Have you found that to be more downtime available to do so?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think because of the whole lockdown thing, it was tough to kind of get in a room. We've always sort of preferred getting in a room with other artists when it comes to co-writes. You get a feel for that person, and what you can all go for, and you generally tend to connect better when you're in a room. And we'd never really done Zoom writes or Skype writes before. Me and Rob kind of had to while over lockdown. So it's definitely something I think that we'd maybe look into now, doing some Zoom writes as we've now done it and experienced it. But yeah, as far as up till now goes, not really.
Fair enough. What has been your favourite, out of interest? Because although we're not getting live gigs right now, we all still have the memories of them. So, what was your favourite gig? What was your most memorable gig so far?
I would probably say the C2C show Rob was talking about. I mean, playing CMA Fest in the States was.
How was that?
I mean, it's not every day you get to go and do that. So that was pretty massive for us, and we had our family out there as well with us, which is cool. And then on our downtime, we got to do a bit of state hopping and get in a car and go and do that. So I think the whole experience of that trip was probably up there for sure.
Certainly prompts the creativity, as you said, when you're actually in the vibe doing it. You'll listen to the songs telling us about driving and having the top down and being in the environments, and then when you're actually there, surely that gets the creative juices flowing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So where do you go from here? I mean, like you say, you're releasing new music, and once obviously the tours can all start moving again, looking to do so. And you did say that you were looking to go out to the States as well.
I think
if they'll have us.
Yeah. I think this year that none of that's going to happen.
No,
States and stuff, obviously. But next year we'll definitely try and get ourselves back out there. We have got something in the pipeline which I'm not talking about. But
come on, gossip. We want gossip.
It's no.
It's no negotiation there at all, was it?
We're super excited about it, but we're still working on it. So it's something a little bit different. And hopefully it'll be available soon so that we can start talking about it. But
so keep an eye out because something is
coming.
Okay.
So yeah, something's brewing in the pipeline.
Fantastic.
Oh,
it's very so annoying though. I don't know what it's like. I don't do surprises. But in terms of you guys, I mean, tell us a little bit about you. But I mean, for the listeners to get to know a little bit about you personally. Obviously, this has been a bit of a rubbish time for us to do anything fun. But what do you usually like to do apart from write and perform?
We talk about football a lot.
Yeah,
Really? Look how we started the conversation. That's typical.
Yeah, we are just a couple of lads from Essex. We do all the same stuff all lads do from Essex. We like going down the pub with our mates. We like watching the footy. You know, we love doing all that stuff.
Do people treat you differently?
No.
Well, you never know. It's always good to ask, because sometimes, you know, people are a bit funny. You're like, well, no, you know.
I get embarrassed. I remember we played somewhere last year. It was a festival, and the first band that played, I think those guys are from Essex as well. And one of them came up to me and was like, "Oh, I just want to say that you guys have been a massive sort of influence on us and stuff." And yeah, I just went all red in the face. It just doesn't seem right, you know. It doesn't seem normal. But I mean, it felt, you know, I was very humbled. It felt lovely to know that people feel that way.
And that might be, but that's really interesting. You see, you don't realise the implications of your creativity and what you're putting out there. You don't realise who it touches. It's really, really interesting. How's your fan base? What are your fan base like? Have you got loads of, you know, screaming girls, or do you get some users? You know, do you get a lot of Essex following? How's that going?
It's a really mixed bag, actually. It's like it's kind of anywhere from sort of like 13-year-olds to 60-year-olds, you know, and everyone in the middle. And we do, when we play sort of close to home, it gets a bit rowdy. We get a lot of people shouting and booing and swearing and all sorts.
That's pretty bad.
We condone it. It's all good.
It's you know, we've kind of, I don't know, we've kind of managed to appeal to such a wide range of people, and I think that's what I think country music does that naturally anyway.
For sure.
You seem to appeal to a much wider audience that I've noticed anyway.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really get too many 60-year-olds going to like a grime gig. So
well, I don't know about after lockdown, maybe that might happen, but
maybe.
Yeah, you never know. Hopefully.
No, you're quite right. It does appeal to a really, really broad, demographic of people, with no doubt about it.
It's one of those genres where it's like there's loads of off genres within the genre. So you've got people like Dolly Parton, but then you've got a Sam Hunt as well. So it's kind of, I think that's where it kind of works, you know.
Don't start that debate off, please, Jack. Start that one, because we can go. That's it exactly. It's tangents and subgenres.
People need to relax.
They do. Listen, I have a 2-hour show, and I play a little bit of everything from everyone that will appeal to every single age group and sex and everything else, because essentially country is massive. It forms a huge base for the genre, for so many other genres as well. So I think, you know, it's really, really important to appeal to loads of different people, and it's really fantastic that you've done that.
That's it. And if you don't like it, turn it off.
That's it. So you know what? How to just simplify.
He says that in a much more rude fashion when he's not on the radio.
We're friends right now, but next time when we have a conversation, I'm with you on that, and I totally agree more.
All right, here we go.
Totally agree with you. Well, listen, it's been really, really lovely chatting to you guys, and you know, finding out a little bit more about you. And I'm glad that exciting things are happening, even though I don't know what they are. You know,
all will be revealed.
Announcements.
All will be revealed.
I bet it will. I'm looking forward to it, and so will all the listeners. We're going to play one of your tracks out as well. So it's, you know, anything that you would like to request. Any of your favourites? What's your favourite track? Before we go, that's an interesting one. What's your favourite track?
Oh, well, at the moment or in general?
No, across, you know, in general.
Oh. Well, do you mean, can we request something to go on your show? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Anything off the new Hardy record.
Yeah. You like.
Like Rob said, anything off the new Hardy record.
Really?
Yeah, I love that record.
Yes, okay. The new Hardy record. It was produced by the same guy that did the Florida Georgia Line albums. It's incredible. So anything off that would be great.
Fantastic. I like to appeal to all the masses, and I haven't listened to it, so it gives me something else.
You should listen to it.
I think I've heard it mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
you should.
Okay, excellent. But one of your old school, one of your favourites.
Oh, maybe something by George Strait. What are you saying,
Oh, you
Rob?
have to go George Strait. What about one of your own?
Oh, our song.
Ah,
Yeah, I want one of them as well. What would you like?
we don't care about that. George Strait, come on.
You can't do it. George Strait would understand. He would say you're allowed to have one of your own as well, guys. Well, then in that case, I'm going to choose.
Yeah, you choose.
Yeah, you choose. Yeah.
Well, you know what, guys, you're an absolute crack. It's been lovely to meet you both and to have a chat with you and to learn a little bit more about you, and look forward to meeting you again soon.
Thank you.
You too.
Jack,
Thanks for having us.
Take care. We'll speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It's Jess T on countryradio.uk. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and know that there will be plenty more music videos, live exclusives and performances from country music artists across the UK and beyond.